It has been a long time. Worldwide Benny here, excited to show off the start of a new project in Planet Coaster 2. Welcome to Franklin Acres. I'm excited to get into more detail about this park in a few minutes, but first I'm just going to hit real quick what has inspired this park. So, a couple things inspired this new build. One, I've just been itching to get back into Planet Coaster. I've been visiting some really awesome amusement parks lately, and I'll get into which of those have inspired this, but a couple of those really inspired me to start a new build. But a couple things. One, I saw an awesome video the other day by a guy on YouTube under the name of Corvus. Corvus really puts together some awesome Planet Coaster videos, and he had one called How to Build a Realistic Park Template, and it absolutely got my brain going. I'll go ahead and put the thumbnail to that video up on screen. But really, he just kind of showed off a way to build an actual, like, somewhat to scale realistic park template with correct pathways and parking lots and traffic routes and layout and flow, and it just got me thinking, like, man, Cyber City was really awesome, and I do plan to do more work on it at some point in the future, but it just was incredibly unrealistic, obviously. It was fun, still is fun, but the flow just isn't great. It's super spread out, super large, super over the top, and I kind of wanted to do something with a little bit more of a realistic feel to it. Whoops, sorry, over in the bushes there. It's been a while since I've played the game. But yeah, so I wanted to do something with a bit more of a realistic feel to it. Which brings me to kind of the concept behind this one. So I had the idea, based on what he talked about in that video, to create my own hometown park. I am located in Middle Tennessee near a town called Franklin. It's an awesome little town. And I don't have any theme parks super close to me. The closest theme park that I have to me is going to be either Dollywood or Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana, which both of those are absolutely world-class amusement parks. Cannot recommend visiting them enough. Absolute bangers of parks. Holiday World in particular. Dollywood has some phenomenal rides, great operations, great vibe. Holiday World, I mean, it was so good. I really can't talk it up enough. It is a small amusement park and water park in one, and you can actually do them both in one day pretty easily. Ticket prices aren't too bad. It's like $60 for a full day pass. They have free soda, free sunscreen, free parking. Nothing's terribly expensive. And I mean, it's not a huge park, but it packs a punch. They have some phenomenal woodies in there that are by Gravity Group. They have a launched B&M wing. They have a Vekoma family coaster, and then they have like a whole slew of awesome water coasters. And again, you can knock it all out in one day, and it is like you're gonna spend maybe $80 to $100 for the full day, which is just truly phenomenal for an amusement park. I visited a couple other parks this year, like Busch Gardens Tampa and King's Dominion, and while those parks are phenomenal, they're just expensive, especially Busch Gardens Tampa. Iron Gwazi is a banger, but man, that park they've really, between lockers and like $20 parking and all kinds of other stuff, they strip your cash straight out of your wallet. So I was really inspired by Holiday World, and I had the idea to create my own home park. So I went and started scouting for a plot of land south of Franklin, between the town of Franklin and another town called Spring Hill. They're about 30 minutes outside of Nashville, and I found a plot of farmland. And on that farmland, figured I would look at the satellite data and kind of try to recreate it in the style that Corvus mentioned in his How to Create a Realistic Park Template. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out on my Planet Coaster map and show you. And I'm also going to go ahead and put up on the screen right now the actual satellite view of that plot of land, and you can kind of see how I went about recreating it. The idea of a home park is awesome to me, and just, building something of a smaller, medium scale that packs a punch like Holiday World is just so much more approachable than trying to do something monstrous like Cyber City. So here up on screen right now is that plot of land. You can kind of see outlined in red the area I assume the park's going to be in. It's probably not even going to be that big, because if you look now, the land between the highway and the railroad tracks will likely be more than enough. I have the whole rest of that land plotted out. You can see I have the railroad kind of plotted out here, some farmland, a little pond in the middle that's going to make for some great scenic walkarounds. tree lines, the little road going down it. I even built this radio tower, which surprisingly was kind of tricky to build. It took me a while, but once I got it down and locked in, I thought it was pretty cool. It looks pretty realistic. I don't know if the scale is right. Probably could be a little bigger, but it took forever to get these little crossbars actually lined up properly and copied over because you have to tilt everything at an angle for it. But what I was really, really stoked about for this park is the water tower. Holiday World has a giant Holiday World water tower, like right when you pull off the highway towards the park. And I just thought that was super cool. I'm definitely going to add more decoration to this at some point. But for right now, we just got Franklin Acres up there, which is the name of the park. It's going to be like a Southern Americana, you know, classic farm ranch style vibe, similar to like a Dollywood, but more Tennessee themed because that's where I'm from. I got cool little bathrooms out front with some water tower, wagon. This was actually a frontier, or a blueprint from the site. Not the site. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? This is a blueprint from like the blueprint shop for, you know, creators on Planet Coaster 2. A handful of things in this park are blueprints, and I'll be sure to put up at the end of the video all of those workshop creator like accounts so you can see what I pulled to use for this video and for this park. But quite a bit of this park is also made by me, such as the entrance and this little house over here, which I'm super stoked how this turned out. I looked up some Franklin historical buildings in the area and took a stab at building one, and the next video is actually going to be the build process for that. It is a gift shop in here, which was decided kind of last minute, and the interior isn't like super fleshed out, but it's sufficeable, and the interior isn't what I'm focusing on here too much. I'm sure there will be some areas like restaurants that I'll do more interior for, and like locker areas, but for basic stuff like gift shops, I didn't want to spend too much time toiling away at that because making this building already took an insanely long amount of time. So yeah, that's kind of the layout of the park. I'll give you a general flow here. You can see you'd come in off the path. There's a little exit. I even got these signs off the workshop. Exit 25 mile an hour, buses only in the right lane. So you have a little bus circle over there to like drop them off as if, you know, let's say through this tunnel over there, there's another larger parking lot for overflow that can tunnel or shuttle people in. Then we got some parking signs, bring you down 2 lanes, more parking, lane for the bus, wrong way. Don't go there if you have a car. And then 2 pull-offs with crosswalks into the parking lot. I know this parking lot itself is not big enough right now. I might throw another one over here, but for the time being, we're going to assume that through the tunnel is a larger parking lot that you can shuttle in from. And then we got the exit over here and the rest of the highway. I also built just some little flavor builds off to the side. This one you've probably seen, it's just a regular Frontier blueprint, and got this car and tractor from someone else on the workshop, built this little metal carport sort of thing over here myself, and nabbed this off the workshop. Again, all the workshop creations I'm going to put up at the end of the video. Same with this guy over here, this little house workshop creation. I didn't want to spend a ton of time on these things out here because they're not the main portion of the park. They're more just for when you get the view, give it some life, you know. I'll probably put something over here as well, you know, in this area. But for the time being, these just kind of helped me get a lay of the land. And, you know, in the Franklin Spring Hill area where this park would theoretically be based, there's houses kind of all along this and a couple other businesses. So nothing too crazy, but yeah, that's the layout so far. I'll go ahead and zoom in and show you the queue. So we got the shuttles. I went for a red, white, and blue theme on the shuttle kind of overhangs to keep people shaded. Got the rope offs in there to keep you walking in the right direction. This is kind of like exit areas and these little open spots that I have. Ooh, flying around here. Exit area there, and then another exit area here so people can funnel in. And then we've got the entrance to the park. Entrance to the park is pretty cool. I didn't like the line between the pathways too much, so I tried to kind of cover that up by building some planters and giving some seating outside for them, which I actually think worked out pretty darn well. It's not as harsh on the eyes along this line there. And then I put a little staff entrance over here. I don't know where. I know staff entrances are typically like off the beaten path for parks, but I just had the idea to have like a separate entrance over here. Maybe I'll make it like a season pass holder entrance or something like that, but use this guy that I got off the workshop and you know, put a little windmill up there for flavor, a little camping grounds over here. I think it looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and jump into the entrance. Got some metal detectors I got off the shop. They look great. They look pretty crazy at night because these green lights on them light up. And then got all my fluorescents above. Tables that you would like slide metal items across little buckets on, and then you actually make your way into the park. Got to build out this main street quite a bit. Got a few lockers off to this side that I got from the workshop and built in, put some wood framing around, and I'll probably have a little pathway over here for more lockers that people can rent, and then, you know, you'll be able to go to the park this way and then maybe have like a secondary access route over there. And then, yeah, the first building, the gift shop right at the entrance. Need to get a sign up to let people know it's a gift shop, but man, super cool, like 1800s style, southern, like almost plantation looking home. Really, really happy with how it turned out. You'll see how I build that in the next video. So yeah, that's the beginning of this park. The plan for this park is to get a good build out for kind of this main loop to start. You know, we'll start at this path, go up and around, have a little branch off here, go around the little pond and have some coasters back in this area, maybe a smaller coaster, a flat right here that kind of tucks over into this corner, and then some room over there. And then we'll cross the tracks if we need to cross the tracks. First coaster I'm probably going to do is going to be a Woody, and likely will be a GCI. Man, Thunderhead at Dollywood is a ripper of a Woody. It's a GCI, and I just rode that thing an infinite amount of times when we were there. Absolutely loved it. So I knew I wanted to have a GCI in this park, and I'll probably also have something similar to like Voyage at Holiday World, like a Gravity Group type coaster. And then love to do a launched coaster, maybe a launched B&M Wing coaster because I've been enjoying those lately, but also Premier and Intamin, really like building those. So probably, you know, do something like that in the park, and then a handful of flat rides, and we'll go from there. So yeah, that's kind of the whole overview of where we're at now. This took a surprisingly long amount of time to build because I tried to be pretty realistic about it, and I think it turned out solid. Obviously, a couple little hangups, you know, there could be more room at the entrance over here if a line builds up, and you know, again, the car park isn't as big as it should be, but yeah, I think it's pretty solid. There's going to definitely need to be a maintenance route somewhere. I'll probably have it peel off this path over here and cut through the woods, but I'm going to really try to avoid destroying any trees and foliage over the course of this build, because if this is how it were in real life, I don't want to interrupt the beautiful greenery that we have in Tennessee. So I'm going to leave that right there. So yeah, that's kind of the park overview. The next video is going to be one of me actually building this old school brick historic gift shop. And from there on, hopefully we'll be getting into some rides. Speaking of rides, if you didn't catch my last video for the Premier Rides launch coaster, I did Moonrunner. Please go check that out. Pretty stoked with how that one turned out. I built that ride probably, maybe a year ago, and I really liked it, but I just never got around to making a video for it. So finally, after visiting some amusement parks and getting the bug again, I decided to jump in and build that, make that video and get a POV out for it. And yeah, pretty stoked with how it turned out. Probably the last video I'll be doing on Cyber City for a while at least. Gonna be diving headfirst into Franklin Acres in the near future. But yeah, if you haven't given that a watch, go give it a watch. Pretty proud of that one. Love the theming on it. It's a really fun, compact, fast layout with some elements I love from coasters. And yeah, it's gonna be about it. I will see y'all in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again for Corvus. He makes really, really awesome videos on here. He inspired me heavily for this build with his builds. And yeah, see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.